Grand final of qualifier number 4, everybody. Here we go. Team WAH against the Hardos. Oldie but goldie at this point. Now, Masquerade is currently missing. He's not playing today, so yes, they subbed Rutsu in instead. That sometimes leads to also a few changes in the terms that they're playing this out, but yep, Dragonshire is our first map, which I'm very happy about, because we don't get to see a whole lot of Dragonshire lately. It's not really a full meta map these days, so it's awesome that we're gonna get it here as our starting map to boot. So let's get this show on the road and see which team takes it. Now, we're obviously fighting for points for the leaderboard. 10 points for the team that wins the tournament, 7 points for second place. All those points get accumulated, and the top 8 at the end of the season will advance to the playoffs, where the teams play for 4,000 euros of prize money, all sponsored by Mr. X, who wants to stay anonymous, hence the name of Mr. X and the X Cup. And yep, long-term Heroes of the Storm fan that, of course, wants to support the competitive scene here after HGC was let down by Blizzard, or the competitive scene was let down by them. And thanks to him, we have not only the X Cup Summer, but now the X Cup Fall. Great for the teams, great for us, tons of content, tons of qualifiers, and of course we're looking already forward to the playoffs. The King of Dragonshire gets picked immediately. Now, in case that you're a little bit newer to Dragonshire, we haven't had it in a while, Rek'Sai is pretty much the best offlaner that you can pick here. Not because he wins the 1v1, but because he wins the lane, if there isn't a rotation or help from anybody else. The reason is pretty simple. You can split Rek'Sai and Misha on lane and on the shrine that you need to control. And your opponent has to try and play around that a little bit. So while you are able to soak the experience on the lane and control the shrine, your opponent has to choose one of the two. There's some that can jump between those 2 points and make this a bit faster, but at the end of the day, if the Rek'Sai player plays it well, he will claim control. He will either give his team a small experience advantage over time, or he will keep control of the lane itself. And therefore, teams that go up against Rek'Sai on this map normally rotate over, try and gank him, try and set up some globals, bring a Brightwing in, an Abathur. If Abathur gets played with an Abathur head, that sets up the balance. You can get in Genji, in Maiev in this case. So there's a lot of different picks that you can go for. But yeah, that's pretty much how you play that out. So yeah, Rek'Sai is not going to lose to anybody up there, again, on the objective. In a traditional 1v1, obviously, that's different. But if you just play objective and experience, then that's the setup. It's one of the reasons why Rek'Sai oftentimes gets banned on the map. And if he doesn't get banned, in most cases, as you can see here, he's a first pick. Or becomes part of the first rotation. So yeah, he's super, super powerful, and also helps later on in the fights with the extra stun that he can supply there too. Lunara is in, and we got Hoga plus an Uberak, and Maiev, of course, she's going to be the real one to watch out for. Nyx Maiev is banned quite a lot these days, and for a very, very good reason. With Rek'Sai and Kharazim as a pick for Banana Age, we already have an aggressive setup around Team WAH's composition that they can use to jump in. They need someone that can dive a bit, and Muradin for the jump is there, plus Malthael. Okay, so for the blue team, we already have our combo. Dino's playing today in the main tank role, as you can see here. Most of the games. So that could give a bit of an advantage over to the Hardos, and we'll see how they can exploit it here today. Hazu's Lunara is going to be interesting, especially since I assume he's going to have a lot of room to work with. Maiev, normally the focus point on the other side. And we get Tyrande! A Nubarak Tyrande, oldie but goldie. Stun into stun, and then the tether of Maiev. Lunara with all of the damage. The opponent trying to scramble. Kharazim on 16, of course, with the triple cleanse. It's going to be a bit annoying, but until then you can run the show here. Stage is set, let's go! Game number 1, Dragonshire, everybody! Team WAH against the Hardos, as we are starting the grand final of qualifier number 4. Team WAH against the Hardos, and here we go. Dequaza on the first map of the best of 3, playing Malthael. Dino on Muradin. We got Banana H on Kharazim, Ultralisk on Sylvanas, and Rek'Sai played by Rutsu on the top lane. Now Copenhagen is playing for the Hardos on Hoga this time. We have Hazops and Lunara. Bad Benny, of course, at the front with the Nubarak. He's going for the big dive as Nick moves in with Maiev to assist and follow up. And Tyrande played by Yasuo on the final point here. Bit of a brawl in the middle. First thing that happens. We got the flare on level 1. For the extra vision on Rek'Sai, is of course making his own top lane a bit safer too when he can check those bushes, because you need to make sure that this Tyrande and Nubarak combo is not aiming for you And Maiev, yeah, as you can see here, this is exactly the problem. Exactly this. Dino gets out, but oh boy, was that a lot of damage. And he just got ping-ponged around here. From stun into tether, pulled back. I mean, oh, that's exactly what's going to happen throughout the game here. So, yeah, huge problem. And they're already chasing up at the top. Quasar, they are starting to... I mean, I guess they're starting to save them, but one is already down. Mad aggression from the Hardos. They're just trying to shut this down and not even allow the opponent to get any foothold in all of this. So, yeah, Lunara gets away, but there's the counter kill against Tyrande. Her weakness, of course, still being that she's on the squishy side and doesn't have an escape, but Karazim nearly died for that too. And Nick is now also escaping. Ultralisk has to retreat since the rest of the team is helping out. And as the dust settles, we have 2 kills for the Hardos and 1 kill for Team WAH. And a lead in experience for the Hardos. Now, we haven't really set the lanes up properly. It's actually Rutsu in the mid lane now with Rexa. So traditionally you would have him at the top lane. But things are already escalating a bit here. Level 3 kicking in, and the first shrine has been claimed down at the bottom of the map. This could be a real spicy game. I mean, the aggression is there. And now the bot lane seems to be Rexa for now against Bad Benny. But Mirrodin is already sitting at the side looking for the Stormbolt against Yasuo, which he can't get. Hunter's Mark, of course, can help out to burn any target down. And so far it's a fun one, and I would really like to continue for it to continue at pace because this is entertaining. We got the Brute Force on level 2 or level 4. But yeah, Brute Force it is. That seems to be exactly what we can expect here, as they are clashing again at the top. The 2 camps are also taken, both of them now operating with the siege camp, with the hard camp. Yeah, Blizzard changed those names. Night camp, hard camp, and now it's the, I don't even know what it's called right now. It's still the hard camp for me. It was actually kind of funny because back in the days in the alpha it was called the easy and the hard camp. And then they renamed it. They renamed it multiple times. And I still remember that people were complaining, you can't call it the easy camp. It's not like easy. That's and I was like, well, you should have played a bit sooner. And we have a very, very early Dragonite for the Hardos. So they snuck that in after they killed Malthael at the top. He was pushed back, and Anubarak was holding on to the point at the bottom. So now a super early Dragonite for them before the 3-minute mark. Not the fastest that we've seen, but still pretty good. And the fight, of course, is still played out at the bottom. Dragonite has a bit of resistance in the middle of the map, as we have at least 2 of them going up against it. But down here, the party still continues. So, great start into the game for the Hardos. Nothing too insane yet. I mean, early Dragonites will give you an advantage. You normally are able to burn the wall down, and that's about it. But it's not like you can snowball the game from the first Dragonite on super easily. As the Dragonites get stronger and stronger as the game continues, that changes. But it gives, of course, a small lead now to the red team. And the mid wall destroyed. If you can also take the fountain down, that's a good step into the right direction. With level 7 talents now on both sides, also was worth mentioning again that we have the damage set up for Mirrodin on level 4. So on 13 we're gonna see the bronze be at rage. And down here, yeah, that's a kill. Oh, it should be Nick, and he gets out. Nice. Nick gets out. Maiev, by the way. Vault of the Wardens jumps back out, and they're fighting for the cap too. Oh boy, are they gonna lose this now? They've all the damage already, and Misha is dead, and goodbye Karazim. Nah, he gets away. He gets away. He has the dashes, but they take the camp. Now that's annoying. Doing all the work and then your opponent moves in and just steals it. Yeah, that's unfortunate to say the least. Give him the axe on level 7 for Mirrodin, and he's zoned out towards the middle. And they're doing damage down here. They're killing Misha again. It's an unbearable situation. I mean, you're looking at this, and bear with me here for just a second, but if Misha doesn't die, you know, for Rexa, it's just easier to come in and make the impossible possible. But with Misha dying, it's an unbearable situation, and yeah, the blue team is just trying to find their bearings here. Misha barely survived one of the earlier fights, but the last one, she just didn't stand a chance. And for now, they're going for the fort to take that down too, and they're chasing hard for another kill. They want to get good old Rexa. Misha sacrificing herself, though, for the greater good. Oh, no, not even that. Misha actually got away. Good for her. But the damage continues because those siege giants are still throwing some rocks over, and that nearly destroys the towers at the bottom. And level 10 is so close now for the Hardos that they are really getting more and more momentum as all of this is happening. But yeah, so for now, we got level 10. The disc is in. We got the shockwave as well. And they go for another Dragonite. And with level 10, of course, they can even decide who gets it. And there's zero problems for them with level 10 advantage to get objective number 2. And now things are getting difficult. Because now you're looking at not only the first fort destroyed at the bottom of the map. They have another objective. Level 10 isn't there. Rutsu is about to die. Hazu is getting chased a little bit. But if Rexa dies now too, and he does, he gets owled. Hedwig to the face. Hedwig to the face, down goes Rexa. The man with the mask is gone, and they go for a keep. I mean, again, Team WAH is playing with a sub today, but boy are they suffering. 4 kills to 1, more than a level lead. Instead for keep, they go for fort in the middle of the map. And yeah, this is getting real dangerous. Still able to bring it back, of course. They need a few kills to make it happen, though. And so far, they didn't have a lot of luck with that. But they have the level 10 abilities now. So if they get a good... Let's say for example, they get a mind control into 7-sided, plus a follow-up on the last riots from Malthael, they might just be able to get the kill. Blow maybe the front line up, get a kill on Maiev. We'll see how it pans out for them. But there's no denying that currently shots are being called by the Hardos. I mean, 100%. So they have to make a play. Dino nice is able to avoid the stun. Good reaction time. Tirana got that in. And they're still trying to go for the camp. Are they inviting again? It seems like we could likely see that. There's the camp. Okay, and they're not going for it. The camp gets taken. Obviously they didn't see. We have full vision here. But just imagine them stealing another camp away after all this happened. Alright, vision is in. There it is. The mind control play with the 7-sided. And Nick is getting out. No way. Nick gets out and everybody else on the blue team is all of a sudden in trouble. There comes the shockwave, the kill against Karazim. Boy, they turned that around. And they're chasing them even further. Stun into stun. Dino trying to get out. Hazu ops. He's not letting him. He's not letting him. He's trying to hop to the top. And that's a kill. Maybe not. Dino is able to get away. But he still has the Hearthstone. The owl doesn't graze him. Bad Benny was trying to interrupt the Hearth. But they still have level 13, the extra talent. And of course now, with Myrddin gone, they also have a window of opportunity at the top where they can at least take the tower down, if not more than that. Hogger is dealing with the bottom and is claiming more camps for them so that they have the siege giants pressuring the keep a bit further. But yeah, this is big. 26,000 damage from Lunara. Only 11k from Sylvanas. It's a big problem for Ultralisk. He's just not getting the damage out right now. And, I mean, half the time, if you're running, you can't, you can't damage anything. And they are pressuring them hard. 5 kills to 1. Another objective popping up. Now, the talent advantage is gone as the blue team locks in a level 13. And look where they position themselves. They try to be as aggressive as they can. Lunara with a reposition. Good job. Mind control still connects, but Hazu gets out. Super important that he used the leap here for the reposition. He would have died. I like what Team WAH was trying to do, though. I really, really like it. They set themselves up super aggressively on the opponent's side, waiting for someone to rotate over and get the kill, because they realize that they need these kills to make some plays here. And so far, it hasn't worked. Karazim gets attacked, but Myrddin gets blown up. And here comes the Hogger show. They go for a kill against Rexa. He's dead, and they are just wiping them. Absolutely demolishing them here. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let the bodies hit the floor, baby. We are talking 5-man team wipe. As we have 10 kills, 2-1. The Hardos going for keep and level 16. And they might go further than that. I mean, why? Yeah, they're going for it. They're actually trying. They're trying to go for the core here. They will definitely damage it. The question is, can they finish it? Because Myrddin is already back. The shield is gone. Here comes the disc. Nice. And they get good damage out with Lunara. Hazu is low. Can they save him a bit longer? 46. Lunara is dead. They go for the right click. Cocoon is out too. And they finish what they started. Game number 1 goes to the Hardos here in the grand final of Qualifier number 4. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Garden of Terror, second map choice by the Hardos actually. So they go for a big map against them now. And I gotta say that for Team WAH, the first, they got a bit spanked on the first map. Now again, Masquerade isn't here. That is obviously a problem. You have a sub and Rutsu is a great player to sub in, but it also results in Dino all of a sudden playing frontline, and that's not ideal. They still made it into the grand final, which is fantastic, but at this point there are gaps and the Hardos are exploiting them. Now, this is obviously only true for the first map. We're going to go into map number 2 now, and Garden of Terror is a very different beast, much bigger map. And on the coordination side, of course, you can play a lot around globals. We could see Dehaka, we could see Falstad. But with Brightwing already banned, I would expect both of them to be addressed. Either each team attempts to pick one, or we're going to see them banned out too. This is at the same time also a map where you could try and play with a Slugger. You could play the Vikings here. So there's a couple of things that you really have to consider, especially if your team right now. Do you ban the Vikings, yes or no? Is that something that you're worried about? There's tons of camps also on the map, so if you don't go for any of these plays and you're not trying to sneak something in along a Vikings pick, which are banned now, then you have to at least consider to go for heroes that are very, very good against camps. So Falstad is still up. Dehaka gets banned. That leaves Falstad as a global. And technically you could, of course, also play ETC, which we've seen multiple times by the blue team with Stage Dive. Those are your biggest options for now. Unless you want to go for Abathar. And besides that, the camps are crucial. But Dino again for Nubarak. And I really think also, and we heard that before, that he's a bit limited also by his own personal tanks and what he's really good at with a tank. His Nubarak performance so far was pretty good. We've seen that also in the semi-final, of course. But they just don't have that main tank player right now in their lineup that gives them all the options when they are going into a first pick. So it forces their hand a bit in the draft, and that's of course already an advantage for the Hardos. But yeah, let's see how they're going to exploit that. It's a big map, and they go for Hogger. Hogger, great of course for the solo camps. We have Lucio that speeds up every rotation that you have on the map. It's a huge one of the biggest that we have in the pool. So yeah, Garden of Terror. Let's go. What are we getting here? Yeah, they need to kind of follow up on a Nubarak a bit here, and I really want to see what we are getting. Do we get an early Urel pick, for example? She was banned out previously. They go for Maiev this time. Okay, Ultralisk's Maiev was, of course, banned out multiple times in previous matches, and the same happens to Nyx. So those are the two Maiev players on each side, and we've seen now Nyx's performance with Maiev in game number 1. Now we have Ultralisk. And his Maiev is obviously very impactful as well. And on top of that, we have Stukov. So that is a terrifying start into the draft. If you're trying to look for a composition that can really snipe targets on the other side, this is a really good one to start things off with. So very, very nice move here. But let's see if it works out. We get Sylvanas banned. Yeah, this time no Sylvanas follow-up on any of this. And I'm very, very curious what the damage will be for Rutsu and what we're going to get from the Quasar. Because with Sylvana's ban, that means that all of the side laners are still available to you. But yeah, that is a terrifying start in the draft. A Nubarak, Maiev, and Stukov, that is a lot of aggression that you're telegraphing from the beginning. And they got to do that. Now, Falstad is up, and I expect Falstad to be taken. You can pick the global here. Yeah, I mean, Hazu, he played Falstad before. He played a lot of Falstad. Hazu's Falstad is one of the reasons that nobody is playing Blackheart's Bay anymore. Because you can always disengage. You never have to fight the opponent. You either turn in coins or you just push lanes. And Falstad is helping you there. Well, now that they pick Nick, they can switch it off a bit. So they're keeping Hazu's pick as an option in the late game. For the later stage of the draft. We got Bad Benny on Leo. Well, main tank Leo as it seems. And Hogger, so that would mean that Hazu is likely going to pick another melee, so that they have a triple melee setup here. Tychus is coming in, okay. And Dequaza. Last pick for the blue team. There it is, Sonya, more camp clear. And a potential leap. Don't think so, but it's possible. Yeah, Garden of Terror, here we go. Bad Benny going for Leoric. What is Hazu picking? What are we getting from him? He knows what he's up against. Sonya is in. There's always the chance. Like for Hazu, with Hazu, you always like have in your head, he could go for this Abatha, he could go for Sergeant Hammer, you know? Those Hazu special picks. The Vikings have obviously been banned, but there's Falster, there's the Birdie. So they have some disengage, they have a lot of rotational plays. They can focus on macro if they want here. Garden of Terror is map number 2 in the grand final. Let's go, guys. Let's figure out if the Hardos can go for a 2-0 victory over Team WAH, or if the blue team is forcing the 3rd map of the series. Game number 2, Dequaza on Sonya, Ultralisk on Maiev. For the blue team, we got Banana H on Stukov, Rutsu on Tychus, and Dino on Nubarak. Right side of the map, the Hardos with Bad Benny on Leoric. We have Yazu on Lucio, Hazuops on Falstad, Copenhagen on Hogger, and Nick is playing Tracer in game number 2 of the grand final. And let's go and find out if Team WAH can take this one, or if the Hardos are claiming a 2-0 victory over their opponent. Falstad with the stacks on level 1, insta-fly into the middle. Yeah, Quacknick's tried to play like that in the past, and we all know how that went. Fastest kill in HGC history, and Hazops nearly followed up on that. So he is able to get out. Obviously, he was trying to get some stacks here, and is looking at 3 at this point. But gotta be really careful when you're facing off against Nubarak and Maiev. Those two can lock you down for days. Okay, so as it's there, oh, Trace! Nick gets away with 20 hit points. And Benny is also in a bit of trouble. Kudos to them for not dying, but yeah, that is a very aggressive lineup that Team WAH is playing here. I talked about it during the draft. It is scary. It is really scary. Stukov as a follow-up on the Nubarak engage and Maiev to help him out with it. That should net you some kills. I mean, if you are playing just a halfway decent game, and yeah, then you should be able to get some really good opportunities for your teammates to deliver the damage and get the kill secured. Look at Yazu, by the way. I mean, he's zipping around like a madman here, pissing them off as much as he can and interrupting them, delaying them on those, but he could be focused on very soon too. Dino gets caught though. Ooh, and that's a first blood for the Hardos. Yeah, for the but they're also losing Hogger at the top, and they're losing the camp. So really nice engage there. And Hazu, yeah, he's going for the big fly, and it's a bit of a grief because he flies straight into the opponents and gets taken down. So, yeah, easily taken apart here. But then again, what else do we have? So all the way up towards the top, we have Nick trying to defend here with all the wave clear that Tracer brings to the party. That's not really helping too much. Down at the bottom of the map, even a 1 versus 1 playing out again, but it is an early level 4 for Team WAH. And they have now a pretty significant lead actually in experience. Yeah, so they did well. Those 2 kills that they got really helped. Falstad flying in did nothing to save Hogger, but it killed the bird. And yeah, it was one of those hashtag unlucky moments. We got in the rhythm for Tychus, so they're trying to go for those long prolonged fights. And they might even get them. First seed is spawning now too. It's gonna be an interesting game. It's a very different draft. There's a lot more macro play attempts from the Hardos, and those usually play out in the late game more so than anything else. But if you have a kill composition, of course, the advantage of getting these kills in the late game is always that death timers increase as the game continues, and that gives you more room to play with, and yeah, more wiggle room by killing a couple of heroes, and then you have a big window of opportunity that you can utilize. And Yasu's playing a dangerous game here too. He obviously does a fantastic job annoying them and just delaying them and nibbling at their side, but if he gets caught, then they're losing out on the support here, and that's always a nuisance. So for him, he needs to be very, very careful with all of this, but if he plays that properly, then he can slow them down and can give a lot of space to his own team. And then of course also scouting information. I mean, it's not only them slowing them down, but it's also telling the team, hey, where's the opponent and what are they doing right now? And what the Hardos are doing is they are trying to snipe some structure. So they went topside, they put their Quasar into a big of a pickle and took one of the towers down. But the first seed has gone to Team WAH. And now they are again in the middle with Nick just dancing around and trying to get his damage and also his kills in. Yeah, Dino's engaged. That didn't really work out, but Benny was already moving back, playing that Leo main tank here. But again, keep in mind that they are playing a very strong rotational game. So that's part of the reason why we see that pick. the second seed is coming up, and this time it is the Hardos trying to get it. For obvious reasons, you don't want to fall too far behind. Nice dodge, well done. Dequaza is low and might die if they can follow up on that. But we also have Hogga in a huge amount of trouble right now. Rutsu, the first one to fall. It's Tychus that gets blown to pieces, and Ultralisk might follow now. Yes, he gets dropped. They're following up with even more damage, but Lucio dies first. They still take Sonya, and they take Dino. 4-for-1 trade, and they get the seed. Big W for the Hardos in that situation. 37 stacks for Falstad. He's obviously doing very well here. He has more stacks than Tychus on his level 4. Level 7, full engage combo, Subterranean Shield, the Under King is in, and they take the fountain down, and they're likely going to drop the entire fort here, so good for them. Big structural victory now for the Hardos. Yeah, that fight was absolutely crucial for them, meaning that was big. Now we see them on level 7 also with the Willing Vessel this time. They didn't get the fort, but they have it really low, and just taking the fountain down takes, of course, some of the sustain away from them. Down here... Jesus. Yasuo is so annoying. Spray game is on point though, I like it. So yeah, the Lucios are in. But the next seed is coming up. And of course, Falstad can also later on still play that Mighty Gust card to disengage. Buy himself a little bit time on the lane too. So we'll see how they are gonna play this out once that Heroics are in. Same goes, by the way, also for Team WAH, obviously. And Falstad is down. Got slapped with a big slap. Up at the top, and we get the aggressive variation on Sonya. Big leap. Big leaps on Sonya. Can use that now too. Gust is in. We got the disc, of course, for YF. Oh, big shove. Holy shit. Goodbye. But they still kill Stukov. Now, Leo goes down too, but he'll be back soon. It's much harder, or much more of a problem losing Lucio here. Maiev is also dead. It's an absolute bloodbath at the top. I mean, damn, son. There's the kill on Dino. He doesn't escape either. Once again, it's a positive trade for the Hardos. But Tychus is at least getting the seed down there. So the battle and the victory came at a cost, and it is the objective that suffered a bit. They still saved their fort, and now they go for the camp. But yeah, we have an absolute beating from both teams. I mean, it's blow for blow. They're just going into these fights, kill after kill. It's like, honestly, them just like ignoring defense. They go for one kill after another, full-on aggression. And it works quite nicely. Now, I want to see how they coordinate the leap once that they are going for engages. If they start with a Nubarak, for example, and follow up with Sonya, we could see a lot here. So, pretty happy on that. But, yep, let's go. Down at the bottom of the map, Leo is obviously still in here. And let's take a quick look at the damage. I think they sacrificed Leo twice. The good thing about Leo, as explained in the past, is he spawns on site. He has no travel time. Once the respawn time is over, he's back to business. And if you hit those drains, then you're reducing that even further. So sacrificing them in a fight is absolutely no problem. As long as you get counter damage. Oh, yeah, that Entomb didn't really do a whole lot for them. They try to follow up here, but Bad Benny is still absolutely okay. 14,000 damage on Hogga, Leo, and on Tracer, but there's the cocoon. Okay, and Tracer might have a problem. Where's the Lurking Arm? There we go. Lurking Arm is in. They're trying to save her. Nick, he gets some damage out, but he dies instantly. But so does Tychus. Tychus is dead, and they're again trying to escape. The disc against Falstad puts him into an awkward position thanks to the silence too, but nobody focuses him, so he can turn it on Dino, and they're gonna get maybe a kill. Hogga dies first. Again, they do the same thing again. Look at this, all-out aggression. Everybody just goes for kills. Big hits coming in from Hazops once again. Level 13 is ready for both. Tracer is now back. The seed is up. They're trying to get hit points in with a quick tap on the fountain. But there's the virulent reaction, and Yasuo is dead. Yeah, they're fighting the 4 versus 3 here, and it doesn't work out for them. And of course, now that means that we have the first, what are they called? Garden Terrors. I was about to say Web Weavers again. First Garden Terrors out. Yep. There we go. That is a big step for Team WAH. They have the camp. that's even a plus on that, of course. Camp and Garden Terrace now push the lanes. It's 9 kills to 9. Yeah, exactly. This is what I just said. So they get the first fort at the top. That's not a question. That's just a statement. That is happening. down at the bottom of the map. They might be able to get it here too. But yeah, that's of course like big plays now on the side of Team WAH. Winning that last fight and getting the kill on Lucio was super important here. And it all started with them blowing Tracer up. And talking about blowing Tracer up, he nearly died, but they killed Tychus. So, yeah, that would have been a meme. Getting killed by the Garden Terror just after you kill Tychus, that would have been a bit of a disaster. They lost 1 fort, the fight continues, and here comes the Gust, and oh boy, they just screwed up. The Entomb blocks their path of retreat. Again, that wasn't supposed to catch anybody. That was just meant to block them, and now they're all dead. All 3 of them are dying. Sonya, Anurbrak, and Maiev are both dead. And yeah, they went too deep on this one. They went very, very deep on this last fight, and that was a big mistake. Now they gave the Hardos a ticket back into the game, and a big one at that. With a global on their side, they can also control the top lane easily. Falstad is already there, as you can see on the minimap. And down at the bottom, they are pushing for a fort. It's going to be the first one that they drop if they continue. They have level 16 now, and it's nearly a... I mean, it's more than a level lead for them. So that hurt. That hurt a lot. Yeah, recovering from that is not going to be easy. They need kills again. I mean, they got a lot already. 9 kills to 13, and it's not for lack of trying. Top 4 has also taken damage. But look at the Hardos. They're exploiting that level 16 talent advantage as best they can by stealing the camps away. First of all, they take the fort, then they steal the camp away. And they just went deep on this. Now, the blue team was aware of it. That's why they immediately focused on the camp to the top so that it can't be stolen either. But the fountain falls, and they're pushing for the fort in the middle. And Tracer, of course, we're going to keep an eye on her. Epicenter is in, so that Anurbrak can now epically enter the backline. And the pre-kills on the camp down here. And Tracer is actually going for a solo camp at the bottom of the map, with the next seed spawning bot side too. And that gets sniffed out by Dequaza. Nick realizing this ain't happening. Yeah, needs to zip away, but they give this one up. And Anurbrak, no! He died on the rotation! No! Oh, no! Stukov, fully isolated. Yes, nicely done by Lucio. And of course, they're chasing them hard. This is where Lucio excels. You get the advantage. Look at him. Like, Yasuo is now opening up 1 kill opportunity after another, booping them back. Even the leap might not prevent it from happening. Ultralisk is able to get out, but they're chasing them, and the seed is of course taken. They get the kill against Ultralisk as well. Yasuo is just a freaking monster. Honestly, like, he is such an annoying player to go up against. It's crazy. They got 1 kill against Anurbrak, and then after that it was just Lucio chasing them down one after another, speeding the team up, presenting them with opportunities to get kills in, and they took every single one of them. Now they are 8 kills ahead, 2 levels ahead, they have 2 out of 3 seeds, and it's just nasty, absolutely nasty. Lucio is sitting on 25,000 damage, by the way, so he's top damage dealer on the red team after Falstad. And they can easily now go for the camps. And who's going to stop them taking that seed? Team WAH needs to muster a big defense here, or they are going to face off against the Garden Terrors. And that would likely be the end of the first keep. And down here, yeah, nice. Entomb into Gust Isolation. Leap on Sonya, coming in with it. Lucio is chasing them again, and look at Stukov, he's just running. He's not healing, he's running. He's just trying to get away here, running and trying to survive as they chase down Dino. Anurbrak is dead, the Beetle has been squashed, the Exterminators are in the house, a kill on Sonya to make it a double. Bad Benny, he dies as well. Big shove, by the way, against Tracer, who's fully removed from the fight, but they're still chasing Ultralisk, and he is low, but they get him out of the battle. Level 20 is in. That gives us the upgrade on Entomb. They got the Buried Alive now. And Tracer is already working on the seed. We're going to see Garden Terrors coming in. And thanks to Leoric, they know exactly where they are positioned. They know exactly where they are. Hogger is trying to take the camp down at the bottom, so he's going to claim it for the team. But they are already defending at the top. This is just an absolute disaster from the perspective of the blue team. They're trying as best they can, but the Hardos are on their way to a potential victory here. They're looking really strong in this grand final. It would mean 10 points if they lock in the W. For Team WAH, it's still 7 points towards the leaderboard to qualify for the playoffs and get a good seeding here. Yeah, we got the Garden Terror in the middle attack. There's the disc, but the rest of the team is there for the fight. Bot lane Keep is the one that is under most pressure, but here in the middle, things are not looking too good either. And there's the Entomb. There's the Entomb and the Gust. They go for it and they take down Stukov. Stukov is dead, and Nubarak is on the run. He gets chased down as well. The Cocoon didn't save him, and with Maiev falling, this has to be the end. The leap and the kill against Leoric, that's nice, but it's not going to change the outcome here. 2 of the Keeps are already down. The Garden Terrors are moving in, and this looks like it is just lights out. It's not over until the Fat Lady sings, of course, but I can already hear her taking the deep breath. Here comes the move. 11 kills to 23. The shields are gone. The core is falling. Team the Hardos, they are locking in 10 points for the leaderboard as they claim victory in the best of 3 series here at the grand final of qualifier number 4 against Team WAH. A well-deserved win with a 2-0 for the team in red. GG and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.